What we're doing in this space is the same thing we did when we did the sci-fi walls, just a much bigger space. And instead of having a 6-foot span that was well defined, here we are sort of in our heads dedicating different areas to different functions of the ship. All of this is really just relief panels, but all of this texture, it makes it a spaceship instead of a room. I mean, that's really what it's all about. This is Mr. William Fisher. He's the guy who edits all the videos. Fish has a bit of a, Fish is what we call him. Fish has a history outside of that, outside of the guy who actually brings you all the videos that are so entertaining. Fish built our first spaceship with us. So we've known each other for like 15 years.
Something like that.
A long time. And so we called him up and he's helping us build another spaceship. He actually helped with Maya too. You probably saw him in some of the time-lapse stuff. But we're going to show you around this room a little bit. So you may freeze frame and count this. The number of pieces that we've added to this room is higher than you think. It's a large room. This room's 20-something feet across and 12 feet wide, something like that. We've added EMT with wire bundles to control everything that's going to communicate with each other and operate the final lock. So we've got door number 2 actually is right here. Door number 3 is through that room. We've got texture panels everywhere, and part of what you can't see is there are 3 displays on this side of the room that will have Duratrans in them. So what's Duratrans, you might ask? Well, this thing over my head is not a halo. It's a halo. It's not a halo. If you remember Star Trek The Next Generation, all of the panels that were lit in the bridge display, transporter room, everywhere else, all that stuff was done in Duratrans. It's basically on the flip side, on the reverse side of plexiglass, you have a translucent decal with lighting behind that, and that's how all the displays worked. And they would fake that they were typing something or entering data, and you might have a data field that would be entered some other kind of way, but it doesn't actually function. These are going to be clue panels or information displays, but it's a good way to display information in a sci-fi setting. We found these guys in the lighting department at your local home improvement store, and they are, it's an edge-lit, honeycomb graphic etched, micro-etched LED light. So it uses a similar technology to what we are using to do our etched acrylic panels, but it's a broad field. Now that broad field, like I said, has a honeycomb pattern in it, which may show through the Duratrans and make it look even more techy. But we have so we'll have that illuminated layer and then a decal layer on plexiglass mounted in front of that, so you'll have this really cool luminous display piece, AKA a la Star Trek. So there are pipes and lots of wiring and ducts in here. All of that will be painted the same spaceship color, and then we can use stencils and other hilarious stuff to further tech the stuff out. But if we have ducts in this room, what we're going to do is turn those ducts into part of the spaceship, because that's how it works. If it falls to you to operate the transporter in an emergency, there are a couple things you should remember. I'm just playing. The transport is installed. If you remember, we did a video on the light design that is coming out of this thing right now and how we made that a thing, because that's our job, is to make things out of things. So anyway, the transporter's in place. It looks fantastic. It's secure and should be able to hang a gorilla from it. Not that you would want to do that. Sorry, Harambe. And we just need to figure out lighting on this, or wiring on this thing, and that's good to go. Oh, and an aluminum plate under my feet for extra reflectivity. We're still waiting for our Duratrans to come in, so that we can. But that won't stop us from beta testing the game. We are not finished in room 2, so there's going to be a follow-up to finish up room 2. Why is that, you say? Well, it's because there's a lot of wiring in room 2. There's EMT. Hopefully, I haven't said this already. There's EMT run all the way around the room to everything, because everything interacts with everything else, and
gotta run like 30 more feet of it too.
Yeah, there's more to go. There is signal and logic everywhere, and there's also power everywhere, and in a lot of cases, power is controlled by signal. I can tell you that without spoiling the game. So we are still waiting on our Duratrans, but that will not stop us from beta testing the game. We can actually tape something up there or whatever. We'll have those really cool lit display panels.
Just draw it in crayon. That'll be fine. Space crayon. And
so this goes back to Blast from the Past stuff. So you remember the reactor puzzle?
Now properly lit.
Yes.
They are mostly properly wired with all of their Arduino and other secret sauce stuff that, no spoilers.
And we still have not made the sound design video, which I believe Red Doors guy is going to work with us beginning on Tuesday to start installing the sound in both games. So we'll go over that. But a Spaceship game and the Maya game happening without sound, you're missing a whole dimension. It's like watching a silent movie, and it's not as immersive as one that has sound. So sound.
You got a problem with Fritz Lang?
No, but he did a lot with nothing.
So on the reactors that are currently occupying, I think, most of your screen, we went through several different iterations of the tech we were going to use to power these, and we tried a lot of there are LED bulbs that you can talk to via Bluetooth and all this stuff, and there are also speakers, and unfortunately, I'm sure it can be done, and maybe you can do this in the comments below if you know how. I have no idea how to get our Arduino stuff to interface via Bluetooth to those magic lights. So this is just regular LEDs on Edison screws with a relay, because they're gonna maybe change color if you play the game. Right now, there's a lot of wonderful colored lights making us look probably weirder than normal, and we look pretty weird on a good day. There will be some extra white light in here to make gameplay not just like, oh god, I'm still in the dark, because for those of you who have played many escape games, there's some where you're like, yes, it's still dark, where you have a team of 8 people, one guy has a flashlight, and the other 7 may as well not be there. So we're gonna add some more light to make the game a little more friendly, but not so much that we're breaking the nice effect we have here with all the colors.
Another reason why we put white light in here is that the colored light affects the color of what we put in the room. So we've got all our special colors on top of our reactors and everything, and it looks like different shades of gray because you're looking at it under a red light.
Also, it won't be quite so disco fever in here. Right now, all of these panels is constantly running through the lights. I don't disco. Mark's old enough. I'm not actually old enough.
I'm not that old. Okay, fine.
This is still just running the original hardware test, just cycling the full red, full green, and full blue on each RGB light around there. But these will be doing much more intricate things.
Yes, we'll have subtle differences like you would see in this right here, where we have secondary colors and blendy things and whatnots. Stencil challenge. Matt actually made stencils that are possibly jokes, possibly information, and they're written in this alien language. And
it's Welsh.
So anyway, if you can decipher these and let us know in the comments that you were able to, but don't post in the comments what the solution is.
Or just lie and say, yeah, I can read Welsh.
Yes, everybody. But you can probably think of something to say that will let us know that you got it without telling everyone else, if you're creative, without telling everyone else what the answer is.
Well, this is our first video since we hit 1,000.
Yeah, we hit 1,000. Thank you very much.
So yes, thank you all for subscribing and watching. We hit 1,000. It apparently snowballs from here. So next stop is our gold button at 10 billion or whatever number that is.
In 20 years, we should get a gold button that doesn't really cost. And we could
There's
make
only
one.
like 7 billion people in the world.
We could
so
make a button.
10 billion would be hard.
Yay!
Thank you.
Spaceship!
Spaceship.